So I like this channel to be a real source of encouragement for other writers and for other creatives who, are honing their craft and are trying to pitch their craft and get into the game and sell it to a publisher or a gallery or whatever. But I would be really remiss if we just didn't address how that process, particularly the querying process, really wears on you sort of emotionally and mentally. So I'm going to go through my stats right now, and I just pulled them up here, and they're pretty dismal. Okay, so I've sent 51 queries since April 1st. So that's when I started querying, was April 1st of 2024. So it's been a little over 3 months now. I sent 51 queries during that time, pretty sporadically, infrequently throughout that 3-month period. Fun fact though, according to Query Tracker, the average queries sent per author is 44. So I sent 51, the average is 44. And I'm gonna post all these up here so you can see them. So I've gotten, and I actually can't see it on this page, but I've gotten 27 negative replies. So Query Tracker allows you to see your positive replies and your negative replies. I've gotten all negative, so that means that that I have hit the did not respond button, because due to that agent's sort of historical Query Tracker trends, they normally maybe see a query like in the first couple days. It's been 3 months, so for me, I've just clicked did not respond, or those were outright rejections. And I have to add that all of those were all form rejections, so none of those were like a super, actually I'm sorry, one of them was a semi personalized rejection in the form of them just saying your query letter was good, your synopsis was good, we just didn't like the pages. So so kind of that's basically the most feedback I've gotten. Other than that, it's just kind of been your generic thanks but no thanks, not for us. So basically, if you put that into a percentage, it's been 53% negative reply rate. The average member in Query Tracker experiences an 88% negative reply. So I guess my numbers are kind of rookie numbers. I guess I gotta really start trying to pump those up a little bit. Positive reply rate is of course 0%, as I said, but the average positive reply rate for Query Tracker members is 5.3%. So it seems like out of those 44 average people, the 44 queries that an average member sends out, you get about 5% positive feedback rate. That's really not good. I mean, it's nothing on the authors, it's nothing on their craft or their books or anything like that, but it just, what I'm saying is it just, it kind of impresses on you the sort of, negative situation that you're going through, and sort of, you see those odds, you know what I mean? Like you see those odds in front of you, and it's really hard not to get down. And who was it? Indiana Jones, or was it Han Solo? Or pretty sure it was a Harrison Ford character. Like somebody said, like, don't tell me the odds. It's kind of hard not to look at the odds, to know where you're at in the game. And so this is where I'm at, and it's not a really great place. And so I just want to reflect on this and see like where I've come, where I am right now, where I'm going. But here's the thing, like I know I've accomplished so much, and so have you if you're going through the querying process in the past couple months or years. You've finished your manuscript. That's huge. A lot of authors can't say that for themselves. I feel like what I fear the most isn't failing in getting my book published or, quote, making it as an author. I don't think that's my biggest fear. I think my biggest fear is actually that I put too much of my self-worth into my book or into trying to get this particular project published, that writing and storytelling becomes a chore or an obligation or something negative. I think that's my biggest fear, is that like, if I don't put this, if this isn't made, if this isn't done the right way for me, whether that's getting, traditionally published or self-published or whatever, that it's just it's going to be too much for me. And I will, by attaching too much of my self-worth to that, I'll just stop, and I'll just, lose my taste for it, and I won't keep doing it. So I think that is my biggest fear, because I see this, and I know that's kind of an irrational fear, because I know in the back of my mind, this is something that I want to continue to do for the long haul. Like I sort of see this as maybe not a second career or taking over my day job, probably not, but just something that I can, something that gives me a lot of enjoyment, and something that maybe will give others enjoyment too once they read my work. So, and it might not take a couple years. It might not even take a couple decades. Look at George R. R. Martin. Like it might take until I'm an old man, to actually, see the kind of fruits of my labor, and I'm actually okay with that. Or maybe I won't ever see them. I hope that's not the case, but maybe my children or grandchildren or someone might benefit from it somehow. So I think you just kind of have to play. It is a lot about playing the long game, and don't attach too much of your self-worth in the near term, and give yourself grace to fail forward, because that's what it's kind of what you're doing. That's what I'm doing. I've, at this point I'm failing, right? But I know I'm making incremental progress towards a short-term goal, and also a kind of long-term goal, and then also a very long-term goal. And then also too, and I'm gonna put this in the comments below. I always think of these types of moments in my life where I don't really kind of see a way out, sort of, where it's blurry to me how all this is gonna wind up. What path my book is gonna go down, and and for putting myself out there, and it is, that's exactly what it is. And so I always think back of the poem "The Man in the Arena." I'm gonna post it here in the description. It's just a great poem to describe how you're doing the deed. You are in the game, and you're getting beat up. You're sweaty. You're bleeding. You're just you're demoralized. You feel like you're in a fight, and yet you're the one that's doing that. That's amazing. Like, a lot of other people are just watching you do that. They are not the man in the arena or the woman in the arena. They are just observing you. They're nothing more, nothing less. And so it's just a kind of testament to your character that you can put yourself out there, and you can put your work out there, which is just incredible to me. And that I think as writers, you should always give yourself a pat on the back and recognize that. Give yourself grace, and give yourself grace to fail forward. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and good luck. I wish you nothing but the best in your querying process or publishing process.